Welcome back to The Ether, the show that disrupts the way you think about running your business. Join me, Brandon, and my co-host, Sean Delaney, the creator of What If, on today's episode. Our goal is to provide context around what we talk about so you have the clarity to cut through the noise and the confidence to grow and run a truly harmonious business. Let's jump in and take the next step to achieving business freedom. Business freedom. I'm excited to talk about that. Are you excited to talk about that today?
I'm excited to talk about that. You know what I'm not excited about?
Oh,
my
what?
camera. Whatever my camera is doing.
Yep.
Technical issues rear their ugly head once again. So I've got this soft, powdery glow today. Is that pixie dust? Is he aging backwards? Or is this bullshit camera not just accepting the setting that it's supposed to accept? We're going to go with number 3. Maybe a little of number 2 and number 1 too. I don't know.
Do me a favor. Just change your name on the screen to Fuzzy Sean. We'll call you Fuzzy today.
I'll take that. That's
great. It's an ironic time for this to happen since we're talking about vision, and you're looking very fuzzy. I need to get my eyes checked. As a matter of fact, I just did get my eyes checked recently. Did you know this is gonna send you through the roof, and this is live on camera, and you can't get out of it.
It's an eye thing, isn't it? It's an eye thing.
It's an eye thing. I potentially have a hole in my retina.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you do not. There is no such thing. In fact, you are making stuff up, and I don't like it. I want you to stop right now.
I wish I was. When the doctor was talking to me, I said, I need you to use as few words as humanly possible because I will run out of this room right now. Please stop talking.
I'm going to log off.
Yeah, me and you can't handle eyes very well. So we're going to talk about vision today, but not that kind because we'll both pass out.
My eyes and hey, TMI. No, we're not going to go there. I was going to tell a story.
Careful.
I'm not going to tell. See, this is good. This clouded vision is helping me stay focused right here where we are in our little cloud of vision.
So due to this hole in my eyeball, I bought these really cool. You like these glasses? These blue light filter glasses?
Hey, who doesn't like Bono? I mean, come on.
Right?
You two.
Should I wear these? I've been wearing, honestly, I have to say, if you have trouble with screens and adjusting your eyes, these help. I feel relaxed.
Like all I want to do is haul a big rig cross country with you and a Trans Am in front of me, baby. Let's go. You look like Burt Reynolds.
Well, I'm ready. I don't know about you.
The Bandit. This is perfect. I'm Smokey, and so you're going to be the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Is that what it turns out?
And now we have no viewers and no listeners, and that's okay. You know what? Because we're here to talk about business, but we get sidetracked every now and then. But let's talk about business. Let's talk about vision in business and crafting your company's long-term vision and why maybe this is appropriate for now, this current time of year. What do you have to say about long-term visions? This could be such a boring topic. Let's not make it boring, please.
It could be. Let's try not to make it boring. First, try not to make it boring, and then let's try to actually make it entertaining on that side of it. So why is it this time of year? Well, look, Brandon, it's the fall. Change is in the air. We can go leaf peeping in Vermont, get a little maple syrup candy. It's the time of pumpkin pies. Halloween is here. We got trunk or treats that we've got to go to. And like the migratory doves that they are, Christmas rom-coms have returned to nest on the Hallmark Channel. It is a
time of year.
It is a beautiful time of year, and the distractions from work can be great and many. Now, especially in corporate world, because it's the time for we have a little impetus to get some things done in this last quarter because, oh no, ratings are coming and I have projects that I didn't finish. And so let's jam value and work product into the end of the year. That can happen, but that is forcing work to be done that may no longer need to be done if we lose sight of our vision and where we were supposed to be going by the end of the year. That is one hazard around this time. And then there's also let's think more about holiday parties and wrapping up the year and family travels and all the kind of goodness that comes with this time of year. And let's worry about strategic planning in January. We'll start thinking about it in January, which means we're going to execute it on or actually do our planning in February. And we're not going to start running our race until March, when your competition, who listens to us, is starting to think about it now, never stops thinking about it. And Brandon, the way we do it, this has been our 4th time thinking about our vision this year, because we do it for every quarter and constantly readjusting where we are and what we're working on in those quarterly sprints that we do towards that 5-year vision. And by constantly readjusting to that, we never deviate too far from the mission. And we have, well, we'll get into all the ways that it helps us, but that's the trap that we're flirting with here in the 4th quarter, is to just kind of ride this thing out. The closer we get to holidays, I've seen people just kind of pack it up and go, forget it, I'm done. We've also seen the frenetic cash grab around Black Fridays and Cyber Mondays and shit over the internet Wednesdays, which someone could
is that what the Wednesday is?
I didn't know that. Show as shit over the interwebs on Wednesday. I don't know. I don't know where you're landing on it. But those are the things that can happen. Also, they get us hyper focused on, we got to churn, and then we're ready to collapse by the end of the year. And we still haven't looked at, is this furthering us towards our vision, or is this just a bank account play? That makes sense. So that's what I had to say about sort of this time of year and why we plan now.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was thinking the other day, I feel like this year's already over.
Which day was it?
I just started thinking, and it was amazing. You should try it. If you never tried it, you should try it. Actually, I made the joke this morning with our good friend Hugh. I hung this bookshelf behind me because I wanted people to think that I know what those things are.
Yeah.
And what's in them. And I was like, this might make me appear intelligent. So you're doing it. And I figured, let me copy that. And I don't know.
It would have, but look at
it's mostly children's books. They're just sandwiched in between like real books.
Yeah, speaking of, yes, and or books written by children, because there's Hugh Zaretsky's book, The Launch Button.
Yes, we have Hugh's book. Gotta love Hugh.
I'm kidding. He's not a child. He can put words together in the ways that actually convey meaning. So
he did.
All right,
he did a good job.
on you.
But anyway, so back to the thinking. So I was thinking for the first time in a long time, but it dawned on me as like the year's kind of over when you think about it, because like you said, that's this month for me, I'm traveling for the next 30 days. I think I'm home for a total of like 6 or 7 nights in the next 30 days. Crazy. I'm going to get nothing done. Then we have November. You really only have the first couple of weeks, and then it's Thanksgiving, and then the rom-com starts. So which means for me personally, again, the next 5 weeks, I'm off, right? I have to watch Lifetime and Hallmark rom-coms because it's my guilty pleasure. I will see you January 4th. I don't know what day of the week that is, but that's when I'm back, right? So this is an important time to reset. If you haven't crafted your company's long-term vision, you don't know where you're going, and you don't know what next year is really the target of next year is going to be. And before you know it, if you are like me, then you will be showing up on January 4th with that attitude of, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what are we doing? This is the time.
It used to make me.
Sean, thanks for this. Look at what our viewers are now commenting. Congrats on thinking. It's awesome. Awesome, Sean. Fuzzy Sean.
Love it. My work here is complete.
Thank you, Clay.
So, yeah, I used to see that even in corporate America, where it would strike me as odd, just as the kind of people that we are, Brandon, with planning ahead and thinking, where they come in with that Malay, they're dragging themselves back to work from the holidays, clearing the cobwebs and going, this again. But with that kind of, I don't know what to do. It's like you so checked out, and then they have to wait for their manager to schedule a one-on-one to discuss what their goals are for the year and what their projects are going to be. And It's like, this is not how the and all that stuff wouldn't get wrapped up for quite some time. There's a lot of momentum that's lost there. There's a lot of just going through the motions. I understand that business as usual work should take up the majority of what you're doing, but there needs to be some kind of resetting, recalibrating, re-energizing of the soul and the mission and the purpose to say, we are here again. And the mission continues wherever we are, whether we're at a holiday party or here at our desks. And we know what that mission is, and we know the span of time that we have to get things done. And we can check out and go watch rom-coms for a few weeks to recharge.
5 weeks.
5 weeks. Make sure I remember. Don't let me skim a week. So it's important for us to do those things, but we can do those things because we know that it's baked in that you can do that, and we will still hit that vision.
Can I make a bold statement that just kind of dawned on me? So you know how we get all ambitious around the end of the year. We want to set our 2025 year goal. Not we, just in general, humanity.
Yes.
And we want to set these big goals. I don't want to say humanity, American culture. We set these big goals and we put all these things down on paper. I would make the argument right now, if you set your 2025 goals now, in as of this recording, early October, you will have a more productive year than if you were to set your goals in late December, early January. And we're going to peel this back to get to what a long-term vision is. But that's my bold statement, just because of the mindset we have around that time of year versus this time of year. How do you feel about that?
Not only do I agree with you, but I'm going to raise the ante
and say, people,
and say, again, you mentioned if they're doing it the way we're doing it, if they have already set, if they do the 5-year in the way that we tell them to do, and then they do their 2025 plan, and then get it down to just a quarter, they are going to be chomping at the bit, scratching at the door, can't wait for that ball to drop. That's how I am when it's like, let's go. 8, 7. Yeah, I know. But 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Let's go, because we already have it all lined up. We know what it is. And then we took the time, our recharge time didn't require any decision making, there was no decision fatigue. The decisions have been made. January 1, you and I know exactly what needs to happen for the quarter. So for those 5 weeks when you're watching rom-coms, Marcella wanted to ask me, my wife, everybody, Marcella, here she comes, said, ask Brandon if he's seen the one where, and then she gave me this sentence, and I said,
yes, I have, because they're all that one.
Right. That's my response. I go, wait a minute.
And that's why I watch it.
That's all of them. Anyway, so I love it.
Honestly, that's why I watch it, because I love picking up patterns and just watching how all these things unfold. It doesn't matter. The town doesn't matter. The scenery, the actors, whatever. The plot line is the same. And I watch 5 weeks of the same movie with different people in it. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I'm like,
so yes, Marcella, I have seen that one.
Let me guess. Is that the general contractor who they knew each other from high school, and she went away to a big, to Wellesley,
to the big city, and she's got to come back to the small town because she doesn't want to.
But small town doesn't want to, but has to be here because her mom's sick, and and guys she didn't care about because he wasn't on the football team. He's now a general contractor, and he's been the one that's been upkeeping the farm that the mother lives on. Is that the same fucking one? No, in this one, he's a plumber. Oh, different. Oh, this one's in Connecticut, not in Ohio. Does not matter. Anyway, we digress.
Your business doesn't have to be that boring. You can set a 5-year vision that's different than that.
Our point is, because we know the vision, and because we've done it in the right way, and because we've then used that vision to impact our projects, to understand what we're changing in the world and in us so that we can meet our mission. Because we're doing all of that stuff, we can totally check out for the end of the year. You're like, whatever, we know what we're doing, and I don't have to think about it, plan it, worry about it. It's all done. Set up waiting for us.
Let's do this.
Come out of that recharge like a bullet out of a gun.
Yes, and we want people to do that. And there's still plenty of time. So let's do this real quick. Let's do the 1 minute overview of how that played out for us so far this year, 3 quarters in, and then what someone can do now to prepare for the bullet out of the gun 2025 and how they could craft a long-term vision for their company if they haven't already, or if it's time to redo one because they're a couple years into theirs. So why don't you give us the 60-second overview of 2024 based on marching towards our 5-year vision?
Can't do anything in 60 seconds. I
I
can't
know. That's why
a
I
minute
say
right.
60. I know you're going to give me the 4-minute version, but either way, that's fine.
All right. Well, so how did this work out for us? I don't know what, but you can pull out the level of details that you want. But this year, one of our to meet our 5-year vision, we know that we are going to have joint venture partnerships. We're going to have to be expanding our offerings in the right ways. We're going to have to be playing with other people on their stages and have them playing on our stages. We knew to get there, we had to do that. Now we know what the business as usual is. We know what our mission is. We never lose sight of that. And we know what our core values are. We never lose sight of those. So based on our core values, so here we are doing things like this show, we're making training modules in our school platform, helping people transform their businesses, helping clients double their businesses. We've done that this year because that's the mission. But we know what our core values are, so we know how we're going to help those people. And we know what our vision is 5 years from now and the numbers there. So while we're doing that value delivery, we were constantly in our projects, which we're doing not because we love doing projects, but we're doing projects, meaning we're doing a strategic allocation of time, money, other resources in order to effectuate change in either how we deliver value or the ways in which we deliver value or the methods in which we deliver value. Those are the only reasons we would do a project. And because we're highlighting or lit up by that, we could say, what changes do we have to make to what we're doing now in order to be able to look more like the company that we will be when we are where we are going in 5 years? We're really distilling things down to the essence of what I want you to be doing when you're doing it. And so that then said, we could say, Brandon, we have 3 projects, no more than 3. That's all we have time to do. We're going to do 3 projects. And those projects must be aligned to our 5-year vision. That makes it super easy because when we come into our project management platform, we can look at the projects and we're constantly kicking the tires on whether or not we're moving towards our 5-year vision. We're never getting lost in the weeds. So then when someone comes and says, hey, I've got an opportunity for you guys, we have filters we already know how to use. Do they share our core values? Yes or no? If the answer is no, that's it. We don't have to look any further. If they are shared and we see that they're shared, it's not just what they say, they're demonstrating those core values, then we say, okay, now we can play. How are we going to play together? How can we, always looking to give more value than we take, how can we leverage the value that we're giving towards the avatars we're serving in our mission? And if those potential partners who share our core values impact the same people, great, we're much further ahead. We so far haven't had any conversations negotiating any kind of mergers or acquisitions or joint ventures at all. But those are the first 2 things, because many times people look at that opportunity first and then try to mash it onto the situation. It's a great opportunity. How do we make it work? Well, I got to ignore the fact that I can't stand you, but there's a lot of money to be made. We're going to ignore. That's the complete inverse of what I'm telling you to do. Core values, mission aligned. We're serving the same people. Now we can see how we can play together. And then things naturally happen. In that focus, we had many people this quarter come to us with things that we could have done, things where they either wanted us to spend money on, services that they wanted us to pay for, or opportunities where, well, come in here and you can do the following things, and this is how we're going to split the revenue. And we, just by using those filters, we avoided a lot of stuff. We ended up doing less. I think you would agree with me there.
Yeah, I would say
Uh,
even we had so many people approach us to whatever, joint ventures, strategic partnerships, whatever you want to call it, work with us in some capacity, that if we were to, and I would have pursued all of these a few years ago even, that if we did all of them, we would have absolutely nothing to show for it, and none of them would have been strong partnerships because we would have been spread so thin. But
yes.
that's just, I mean, the number of people who I met that said, "Let's partner together, let's be referral partner," whatever that is. I'm thankful that we did less and we filtered it through that, because I know one comes to mind for each of us. Let's just say they dealt with dentists. And that would have been a nightmare. Like, that was a massive money opportunity that we
Oh man.
both said no to at the same time and in the
Yeah.
same way, that looking back, I'm so glad we said no, because it would have been a
They just
disaster.
kept talking about the money, but we would have been so in bed with them, and they just it sounded like we had a lot of alignment. You believe this, we believe that. Great. You like order in the world and processes, so do we. Great. You like, but then just as it was playing out, it's like, oh, there's going to be so much heavy lifting here, and we're not going to reach as many people as we want. We're niching past the need. What we do is not so dentally focused that people just can't wait to sink their teeth into them. It was like, this isn't, I don't understand. Well, it'll be great. You'll never have to look for another client again. Yeah, because I'll just be talking to dentists all day, which I love dentists. Have one of my own. I let him take care of my teeth. This is an intimate relationship. I love dentists, not trashing dentists, but it was not going to get us, because what would it have done? Big paycheck. But it was not serving who we really believe we can serve at the level we think we can serve them. It was not going to get us anywhere near the impact that we wanted to have. And anybody who said, yeah, we'll do that first and then you can change who you are. So you're saying, pretend we're not who we are so that we can appeal to one market, so we can niche way the hell down to a place that we don't need to niche. Change all of our marketing to speak just to them, forgetting that what we have, if you take it to 2 levels up of abstraction, could benefit every business owner in the country. Why would we do that? Well, because it's fast. Sounds like we're chasing a quick buck instead of maximum impact. And then that would have been violating our mission and our vision, because we have them all aligned. So I am super happy we didn't do that one either. I am super happy I am not writing 3 of the books that I was asked to be writing, or right, well, I'll help you with the book, and there's going to be a big tour and all these things, and we're going to add other people to the roster. Remember that one? It was going to be like this kind of
Oh yeah.
co-authored thing, and then I looked at the rogues gallery of of other authors. Oh, my carpal tunnel from making air quotes is acting up again. There were the other authors involved. It was like, no, I'm not tying myself forever to these people and the nonsense that they're going to put in this book. You know, well, differing opinions are great. Yeah, but those aren't opinions. There's opinions, and then there's just nonsense and drivel. And then we can't do that. I disagree with the advice these people give in the world on business. I'm not, and I cannot, with my equal sized chapter, undo the damage that they're all going to do. I'm not tying myself to this in any way, shape, or form. So, but there were some other books too that it's like, nah, not the time or the place for that one. And it wouldn't, because it would not have gotten us there. Those would have been ego plays, powerful assets to have in the right place in the right forum, but time wasn't right there. So, what did we manage doing when we did our quarter end review? We were shocked at the relationships we now have and the opportunities we have to have a much bigger impact and to pour into communities that we believe in. That would not have happened that quickly had we not been laser focused on what our strategy was, who we were, what our mission was constantly, and with an eye towards that 5-year vision. Would not have happened. So,
And that's just one small example, but so that wasn't 60 seconds, and that's okay, because nobody ever thought it was going to be. But now
what was it
let's
like?
do the short version of, okay, if you need to reevaluate your vision, if you got off track this year, if you are setting one for the first time, awesome. What do we need to do in preparing for creating that long-term vision based on where you are now and where you want to be in 5 years? What's the most important consideration someone could take into account before they set the vision and go down the path of serving only dentists, for example?
Well, I'm not sure which question that I don't know. I don't know where. I think you have an
I
answer in
have no
mind, and
let
I
me just
don't
say
know
this
what
too.
that is.
I have no agenda. What comes to mind, because we've done other episodes on vision, on specifically creating mission, vision, core values. So
Mhm.
in the context of, it's the time of year to maybe get ahead of it, do it now,
Alright,
don't
so on
wait.
one okay. So fair. We're not redoing
No.
here's how to do the vision. You just want one powerful thing that they should be thinking about. I really do think it's the concept of well, we talked to a lot of people about this, and I think a concept that seems to really jar people, which is what we're all about, the disruption of their thinking, is when we say your vision has to scare you a little bit because if it scares you, if you can't see how you could possibly do it, then you've pushed it out far enough. We're really pushing your visionary. We're not trying to predict the future. Like in the future, the world will be this, and then therefore we will be this in that world. You can't predict the future, but you're making the future. You're making a plan to who you will be in the future. That you can do now with understanding that the world may change in 5 years, technology and other things. So it's not about even don't link yourself to the technology either. It is what impact will I be able to have? What is the reach that my company will have? So it's your vision. And if I do the mission, if I do that mission better than anybody in the way I want to do it, what will we look like in 5 years? It's up to you to decide how much innovation, how much disruption you're doing, or are you just numbers based? We just want a bigger market share, whatever that metric is. Then scare yourself with the number, with the size of the impact, with the scope, because that will force you then to grow to be that person. If you can see how you're going to get from here to there clearly, it's just going to take time. You're not playing on the right dimension, the right axis. Because it's not a matter about the time. It's 5 years. Well, in 5 years, if I just do this, then the money will have piled this high. Not what we're talking about. It's a vision for your impact and reach, for the power of your vehicle for delivering value to expand. And you only need to see how you're going to do the very next quarter. And then the rest of the path will light up along the way as you travel towards that 5 year point. I think it's that idea of the me of today shouldn't be able to do. Sean from 5 years from now is going to totally, Brandon, we're going to be laughing about that in 5 years, that was the number we put. But right now, we're like, how can we possibly, in just a couple of quarters from us setting that vision, we're already closer. I'm already feeling like, that's a 2 year vision now, maybe.
Actually, so this just popped in my head. The vision we set, what was that, 3 quarters ago,
Yes.
is now, I'm trying to do quick math here.
Do the
It's
math.
like 0.1% of the Q2 outcome of the company we're working with. Like, that's
Yes.
crazy. But if we didn't set that, we could never have seen
No,
where we are now, which is
never.
that just
We
popped
would
in my
have
head.
been playing in
On
different arenas.
Yep.
We would not have had the same conversations with people. We would not have sought out the same kind of partners. We would have been looking smaller, which you can do when you're thinking about the quarter. What do we do this next quarter? We do this, provided we're not going to knock ourselves off of the 5 year vision. So we could have chased the money there with some other partnership, and we would have been involved in that thing. It wouldn't have been right for 2 years. It would have been all we could have seen, and we would have gone back to the place of business is super hard, and the way we were trying to do it doesn't work but by looking at the vision, And the mission, we said, no, it's not going to be there. It's going to be over here. And it is. And it's kind of, it is going to be, once all is said and done, it will be a ridiculous example to say, these two chowderheads set that ridiculous number, and how dare they? And then look at how, because they, if you multiplied that number by 1 million, you get close to where it is now. I mean, like that's makes, it's ridiculous, but you can't get there unless you do it this way. You've got to be pushing things into the ridiculous. One of our new partners would say, we're dreaming into the quantum state, and we're manifesting it there through will and determination and positive energy.
Shout out to Mama Kimball. Chowderheads. Yes, that's us. We are
yes.
Chief and co-chief Chowderheads.
Yeah.
All because we started thinking. Shout out to you again, Clay. But yes, that's really what we're getting at is don't overcomplicate this, but the importance of it can't be understated. Overstated, excuse me. Love you too more. Yes, you too, Linnea. So that's all we got on Vision. This is not a how-to on Vision. We've done those episodes. We can go find, if you want to DM either of us, we will give you links to those episodes and all of the resources. Not him. Wherever he is on the screen, not him. DM me, and I will help you find those resources. We've done a bunch of episodes on them. I don't know what we're talking about next week, but we still have the rest of this quarter to go execute and grow our businesses. So we're going to come back with more info on how to do just that.
Yeah. So let's do that. Send us your ideas for what you want us to do next. You've heard us talk about the harmonious business. You know the places we like to riff and jam. If you've got questions, we've got answers. What the hell did this just turn into? You can shoot Brandon your questions, and maybe it'll tee it up for next week.
That's right. Make sure you subscribe or follow wherever you are. We do these every Wednesday at noon Eastern. I always mess that up. We're supposed to end at noon Eastern. We go live at 11:30 a.m. Eastern.
That's Brandon.
On whatever platform you're watching. So come back, subscribe, hang out with us. It's also a podcast. Go check out the recordings. We love you. We'll see you on the next episode of The Ether.
Go snuggle up to that like button.